Hi, I'm Jeff Rich from the Burning Archive. I've just finished writing my weekly Substack, which is called Why Did the Poet Shoot Fico? How an assassination attempt revealed the sickness of our political culture. And look, really a terrible thing happened this week, which I don't know has really got the right kind of attention in the general public discussion, at least in the West. And that was the shooting of the Slovakian Prime Minister, Robert Fico, who was shot by a 71-year-old man who is kind of a writer and a poet, and that is a shocking thing. But poets, I guess, are generally not associated with violence. Most of us poets are kind, gentle souls, but there have certainly been more than a few violent poets in the world, and I wonder whether anyone can, in the wrong circumstances, fall into the trap of violence. And I was reflecting upon this event, not just in an abstract way and not just in a kind of political way that so many of the people seem to be commenting on about Robert Fico's politics, or the politics of the shooter, or the situation with Ukraine, or whatever. But rather, I've had direct personal experience in setting up a thing in Australia called a Fixated Threat Assessment Centre, which kind of explicitly looks at how to deal with people like shooters, mass shooters, or people who end up, attacking public figures. They have a fixation on them and they threaten them. And this kind of service tries to combine mental health support and policing, and I guess some level of intelligence gathering in order to help the person not ruin their life and shoot and attack the figure. And I think having had that experience, gave me a little bit of insight into the situation that occurred in Slovakia and the gap between that situation and the way so much of the discussion has proceeded. And I guess, it's kind of a lone wolf attack. And back in 2017, there were a whole series of lone wolf attacks around the world. And that was what I was dealing with at the time. I learned a lot about it then. And I've tried to share some of those insights with you in my Substack this week, which you can get by going to jeffrich.substack.com, and you can sign up there for a free weekly email. If you choose, you can also upgrade your subscription to a paid subscription. I'd be incredibly grateful. But you still get most of my content absolutely for free, and you can comment there, and I'd love to see you. I should also say, during the week, I had a fantastic response to my live stream about Dr. S. Jaishankar, the Indian External Affairs Minister's comments on US dominance coming to an end. Thank you for all those people who've tuned into my channel over the last week or so to watch that show, and I will be giving you more of those, that kind of content over the weeks ahead. I am planning a live stream next week looking at the major meeting between the Russian and Chinese governments that has just occurred in Beijing with Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping in Beijing, and quite a few of the other major ministers. But I have also, during the week, done a recording of parts of this very famous book, which kind of connects to the theme of my Substack this week of Robert Fico's shooting by a lone wolf poet who may well have been in some level of mental distress. Madness and Civilization by Michel Foucault. It is one of the classic works of history, and make sure you subscribe to my channel and you'll be able to listen to my comments on Foucault's history of insanity in the Age of Reason, and hear this defining book of, 20th century culture yourself directly. It's not an easy book to read. Sometimes it can be a little bit easier to absorb if you listen to someone read it slowly and carefully. And that's what I'm going to be doing in a video very shortly. But I will also be returning to the themes of madness, insanity, how it relates to violence in my Substack again soon. So make sure you subscribe. And until I do, you might also want to check out this video I did a little while ago, or this podcast I did a little while ago, talking about Michel Foucault's history of madness and civilization, and why it remains an enduringly important book. Thanks for watching.